developing story. Ekuruhleni officials are on the scene of a dam wall collapse in Benoni. Our reporter Govan Whittles is also there and joins us now. Govan, can you tell us more about what's happened and exactly where this collapse has taken place?
Yes, so the wall of the Middle Lake Dam has partially collapsed here. It's on the corner of the Bunyan and Tom Jones turnoff onto the N12 highway. And as you would know, this is one of the busiest off-ramps within Benoni. This dam wall partially collapsed just a few days ago, and since then it has flooded the area where the water dams up just between the highway and the off-ramp itself, of course placing the road at risk of flooding, which would lead to this entire section being closed off to motorists. So it looks like the city of Ekuruhleni has narrowly averted what could have been a disaster here. They've sent their officials onto the scene, and as you can see behind me, the Ekuruhleni workers are actually trying to divert the flow of water away from where the dam has partially collapsed. And the hole where the dam collapsed is huge now, but just a few days ago there was only a stream of water which was coming through it, and as the days went by, the water continued to flood into the hold and further damaged it. This morning the workers on site told me the entire area below where the collapse happened was completely flooded, and they had to bring in specialists to clear the hyacinth from the drains, which is supposed to make sure that the runoff from the dam moves off to the other dam, which is located just about 200 or 300 meters away. So this is the Middle Lake Dam in Benoni, and this is one of the areas which is a popular tourist destination for Gautengers over the festive season. It's a popular fishing spot. It's also the same lake that comes from the Lakeside Hotel in Benoni here, and it's a quite busy spot. So the Ekuruhleni city officials are trying to react with haste here, but for now they can't repair the hole. All that they can do is divert the water so that the hole doesn't get bigger and another part of the wall collapses. We did see the other section over there does seem to be vulnerable and is showing the same signs as the hole behind me here, but for now the Ekuruhleni workers are just focusing on trying to make sure that this hole doesn't get any bigger and there aren't any further collapses.
Now, can this partial collapse be attributed to aging infrastructure, or have they identified other possible causes?
Well, we know that the collapse started from within the dam, and one of the reasons why is because of the strain that was placed on the draining system, but that is also because of the large number of hyacinth plants which have been developing on this body of water over the last couple of years. And essentially what that does is it clogs up some of the drains and it forces the water into a specific area. In this case, the water, the pressure had increased at the spot where the partial collapse first started, and then over a number of weeks it got worse, and it culminated into what we see right now.
Govan, just one last question. So as far as I understand you, this partial collapse has not yet affected the road itself, the busy intersection that it sits next to?
Yeah, it was on the verge of actually affecting the Bunyan and Tom Jones intersection, the one that goes onto the N12 highway this morning, but they called in some of the emergency workers to come and drain or remove the hyacinth from the drains, and then they started diverting the water away from the partial collapse, and since then the water levels have actually lowered. So it seems as if they've stepped in just in time to make sure that the road which gets onto the N12 is not flooded. But for now they'll have to first divert the water away, and then they'll have to start working on a plan to make sure that they repair this partial collapse.
Thank you very much for that update. That was our reporter Govan Whittles coming to us from Benoni.